Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now today I'm going to work with these Gina K stamps. I got these in my mystery box when I ordered a mystery box along with several other. I think I got 9 different stamp sets in that. I did an unboxing of it. You could check it out. It is on my channel. But these particular stamps here have got flowers on them, and then they've got flower names. There are also state names that are stamps on here, and you've got some sentiments. And I was thinking that I would take some scrap hammer mill cardstock that I have, these white pieces here, and I would just do some ink blending and then stamp these flowers over the ink blended part of the panel. Now, I did have to look each of these flowers up to make sure I got the right name with the flower, because some of them are close together on the stamp set, but some of them are not. So to get it accurate, I made sure I looked them up. I did know what some of them were, but I didn't know what others were. So I just looked them up, made sure I got the right name with the right flower, and then I also looked at the colors so that I could do some blending. Now this first one I'm doing here, it is called the Rocky Mountain Columbine, and it's a real pretty looking flower. It's got a lot of dimension to it. Anyway, so I'm just bringing in some light green, just trying to really lightly blend, and then I'm going to add some color. I'm trying to use what's on my brush already, but I'm having to add a little bit more color to it. So I'm going to bring in some purple. This flower has got some purple on the lower petals, and then it's got some yellow toward the center. And so I'm going to add some lightly add some purple here, and then I'll lightly add some yellow on the top center, and just do some very gentle blending here. So I'm just going to add it. And then once I get the color blended how I like it, I'm going to just bring in and I'm going to stamp my stamp right on top of that coloring. And I think this will be fun. I just got this idea, I just envisioned it when I saw the stamps, and I thought this is how I'm going to do it. So this is going to be our primary focal point of our card. So you can see I've got it laid out there. I'm bringing in my Memento black ink, and I'm going to bring my floral stamp in and set it down on my inking the way that I want it. And then I'm going to bring its little name in there and then just pick it up. And we'll just ink up our stamp with Memento black ink and get it stamped down. Now, this is the first time I've used these, so I'm going to condition them. And we'll just get a gentle press on it. The names of the flowers are very fine, so you want to just press gently. I'm real pleased with how that turned out. In my head, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't know if it would come together with real light ink blending. And I suppose you could watercolor these, and that would be pretty as well. But I was just wanting to blend, so I thought I would just get my brushes out and just do a little blending. Now I'm going to put this back and move on to my next one. I thought we would do all of our ink blending and all of our stamping, and then we'll do our assembly of our cards. This is kind of like a little production line I've got going here. I've got that little list there of which ones I wanted to do and what they were called, just so I would make sure I got them and what color scheme they were. So next I'm going to do what is the California Poppy. And this one's really pretty, and it was kind of an orange. It had an orange hue to it. Kind of a couple tones of orange, and then of course the green leaves. Now this piece here I've got's a little bit too big, so I was just kind of figuring out, how big of a piece I needed, and so I'm just cutting it down to what I think is the right size for this. And I'm going to check it again and make sure it's right, and I've not given myself a lot of room for the name of it, so I'm just going to put the name off to the side ultimately. So I'm going to bring in the yellow because it has kind of a yellow orangey tone. It's kind of yellow on the outer area, and then it has some orange hues to it. So I'm just going to do some layering here, and I'll grab my orange and my orange blending brush and we'll add some orange to it. And I've got Crackling Campfire and it's pretty dark, but on top of the yellow, I think it works out okay. So I'm just going to try and lightly blend again and just lay some color down. I'm going to blend it back out with the yellow, just kind of blend it out. And I'm going to go outside of the stamped area, but that's okay. Now I'm figuring out where my green is, and I've kind of, with my fingers, kind of mapped out the pattern that I need to go with the green, and I'm just going to blend some green in there for these leaves. And there are more. I had 2 stamp sets there, and I wound up just using 3 from 3 of them, and there are more that I could use at another time, but I just ran out of time, and I wanted to keep the video to a reasonable length. So I've done my blending there, and it does kind of look like a flower, just like that on my panel. But I'm going to get it laid down, and we'll arrange the stamp on there and get our name, our California Poppy, laid down on there. We'll just pick it up, and we'll do stamping just like we did the last one. So I have been ill and haven't been able to do a lot, so I was glad to be able to get back to my craft table and do some card making yesterday, and then today getting the voiceovers done, so that's nice. I'm glad to be feeling better. My daughter and I, we caught a stomach flu bug, and it pretty much wiped us out for a couple days and made us pretty weak and tired for another day. So it was unexpected. It came on us both really quick. So I'm going to get my next one, and I'm grabbing the blue bonnet flower is what I'm grabbing, and I've got another panel that's a little bit long, and so I'm going to decide if this is going to work. And I'm showing you this panel, but I actually bring in another panel, and I'll tell you why. I ink blended for this one, and it did not turn out, and I was not happy with it. So I cut that out of the footage, and I went ahead and cut another panel, and I'm going to ink blend. I'm going to bring in some other colors and try to ink blend. Now this one's going to be a little bit different than the others. I just struggled with the blue, getting it to blend nice enough the way that I wanted it. I don't know if my ink pads are getting dry or what the situation was, but I had to do quite a bit more blending on this, and so I wind up blending the whole panel and not leaving the white edge. So this one's going to look a little bit different than the other 2, I guess what I'm going to call botanical prints will look. And so I'm just going to blend, 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 blend on this blue and try and get something that looks similar. Now this blue is not quite as deep or purpley as the blue that the picture that I saw on Google was, but I think it turns out okay, and it looks pretty. So you'll see I do quite a bit of blending. So we have had rain, I don't know, for days, and we've got some flooding going on. But today we've got sunshine, and we've had winds, so that's helping with kind of drying up all the water that we've had. But today we've got beautiful sunshine, and that wind has finally died down a little bit. Now it is still blowing because I can hear my wind chimes outside my front window there. So we are getting some wind. And I'm still dog sitting, so if you hear the dogs in the background, that's what that is. Now this morning I spent most of the morning in my craft room cleaning and organizing, trying to get, I guess, regain my space. My craft supplies have been smothering me a bit, and so this morning I decided to get a hold of it. I was feeling better, and I thought I'm going to get in there and do some cleaning and some reorganizing. So that's what I've been doing, and then I took a break to grab some lunch, and I thought I'm going to sit down and do a couple voiceovers and get them ready. And so I'll have part of next week ready to go. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm finally getting to feeling better and starting to get caught up. So that's a good thing. So these leaves on this, had a kind of a green-yellow hue to them. So that's why I started out with the yellow and then brought the green over it. And I'm just going to leave the yellow edge. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down on here, and I'll later blend out the rest of the panel with some color. So I'm just going to lay my blue bonnet down and my little blue bonnet name, and we'll get this stamp down on there as well. And I guess it does roughly look like a flower as well. As soon as I saw that stamp set, I had this idea. And I had these white panels cut and laying for a long time, and I had laid it aside and was working on other projects that had deadlines, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And then when I started kind of moving things around in my craft room, I saw these again, and I thought, I'm gonna get back to them. Now, you may not be able to get this stamp set on Gina K because, you know, it was in the mystery box because they're trying to clean out their warehouse, so they likely won't have it anymore, but you could just use any floral stamp that you had and just create, you know, a focal point, kind of like a floral, but you know, botanical print type thing. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. Now this one I decided I needed to trim off a little bit, and I'm going to just trim it off, and then I'm going to have my 3 prints. And I'm going to do some more blending on this. I'm bringing the yellow in around the bottom and the blue in around the top, and I'm just blending that all out and trying to make it look a little bit smoother. So I'm going to bring in some more of my ink and just continue to blend on this. Today I also did a little work on my thumbnails and my intro and changed it up a little bit. I've used the same intro and outro for quite a while, and I decided I wanted to clean it up a little bit. So you'll see those on this video as well. So I've got my 3 focal points there, and I'm just going to clean up my glass mat there so that I can begin building my card and I don't make a mess on my card bases. And I do get a little bit of ink on my fingers and have to do some creative embellishing, I guess, to cover up any little smudges I might make. So I'm just deciding if I want to cut this down a little bit. And I did trim it off just a little bit to kind of even it up. Now I'm just going to I've just got some inexpensive black paper, and I'm just going to cut down some panels so that I can have a mat on each one of my floral things. And it worked out when I cut that one that I could use the second one for the trimmed away part for this panel as well. And this was going to have just a finer edge. It's just a sliver around there. And then I'm just measuring this one, and I'll make a black edge around it as well. I'm just going to frame these out with the black and try to make them stand out a little bit. So we'll get this one cut down, and then we'll have our mats. Next, I'm also going to continue my assembly line here, and I'm going to make some A2 size black panels as well. And this will be the first layer of the card base that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to get 3 of those cut down, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step of our process. So what I'll do next is I will bring in my card bases, and we'll get those all scored and ready for our actual cards. And I'm just going to do top folding on all of these, and I'm just getting everything kind of lined up together. And I had 2 panels at the ready to grab there, and then I think I have to go and get another one. So I'll bring that 3rd card base in, and I'll just get it scored up and get it ready, and then I'll grab my panel and we'll lay those aside. So we've got 3 panels, 3 mats, and 3 focal points. And now I'm just going to grab some Spellbinders cardstock and decide what colors I want to add to these focal points. So this one was a pretty quick decision. I wanted to use this Tuscan paper because I thought it would look really well with a flower on there. And I'm just going to get it cut down, and I'm really just winging it. I'm kind of measuring what I've got, and I'm just kind of winging how I cut this down. This was a scrap that was laying in my little holder, and I just grabbed it out, and I thought this will work for this one. And I like the colors together. I think it'll look good with the whole black, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball them, get them lined up how I want them, and then that's how my card's going to go. And then I'm going to get my next one ready, and I'm going to pull in this Spellbinders, I think it's called Cloudy Sky or Stormy Sky. I always get the name wrong. I'll link it in the description box below. And I'm going to do the same thing, kind of wing it with the cutting and get it cut down. And we're going to use this blue behind our blue bonnet. And we'll just, I'm still measuring, not sure what size I want to do on this. And I think I varied on each of them, how I did it, just a little different. But we'll just layer this one up just like it. And then that'll take care of that one. And then I'll grab my third color and we'll get it layered up as well. Now on this one I went a little bold. I thought with the yellow green on the leaves, I could bring in some bold Spellbinders cardstock, and I've got this, I don't know the color of it. I'll have to look it up, but I thought this could really make that flower pop. And so I'm just going to cut it down to a size that is usable. And I'm trying to decide if I could use a thinner piece, but I'm just going to layer this one up just like I did the other three. And then our assembly line will move on to the gluing process. So I'm just rolling up my sleeves, getting them out of the way, and I'm going to start gluing this down. Now I was looking for my little tiny glue, and I couldn't glue bottle, and I couldn't find it. So I'm going to bring in my Sweet Petunia glue press, and we'll just get to gluing. And I filled this thing up, so this glue is really flowing, and I got a lot out there. And I'm going to wipe up that little messy area there. And we'll just get it laid down, and we're just going to get these 3 cards assembled, and we're going to have 3 floral cards that I think will be fun just to use for note cards. I could add more to it and actually have a little set and put them in a box, and that would be a nice little gift. I just thought these were fun, and I guess I'm on this April Showers Brings May Flowers kick, and I'm doing a bunch of floral cards. The last 3 actually, this will be the 4th, I think, video that I've done with flowers. So I'm on kind of a flowery kick. I guess I'm ready for all of mine to start popping. My phlox, my phlox in the front yard is just starting to open up. I'm starting to see some purple hues. I actually have purple, pink, and white phlox in my front garden, and the purple are just now starting to pop. Now what I'm doing here is I brought in some foam tape. I wanted to pop these up. This is fun foam, and I didn't want to use a whole bunch of strips, so I just ran and got some of my fun foam, and I just cut it down, and I'm just going to use it to pop it up. And I was thinking about using this twine, because I thought, well, it's got black and white in it, but I didn't like it, so I threw it aside. I'm just going to glue this panel down, and this will come together. Now we're going to embellish these cards a little bit when we get done, but we're still following the assembly line fashion and just doing each step on each one at a time. It just seemed more productive to kind of do it this way, since I knew I was doing 3 and they were all going to be very similar. It just seemed like it would be more productive to just kind of do it this way, and we'd have all 3 done kind of at the same time. So this is the one that I had to do all the ink blending on, and I think it looks okay. It's probably not my favorite one. I think the first one was probably my favorite. But I'm going to just cut some more of this fun foam down, and we'll get it laid down on there. I've got just a bin full of every color of fun foam, and so I just kind of pick the color of fun foam that would best match the color scheme that I've got going on the card. And I look at my panel and make sure that I get the cut from where you cut down on it so that it's laying down so you don't see that little ledge on there. And I've got to trim up this panel here. And I've got it trimmed up, and I'm ready to lay my green color down on there. I want to call that periwinkle. I don't even know if it is or not, but we'll get it laid down on there, and then we'll finish up this one. Then all we have left to do is to add some embellishment. So I'll layer my botanical print on my little thin backer, and this one's the one that's just got the, I don't know, maybe an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch around there. And I've got a couple of pieces of that foam that I had cut away from the other, and I'm just going to makeshift it to where I can use these and not have to cut any more. and we'll get them laid down on there, and then that'll pop this one up. And I've got a little bit hanging off the edge, so I'm going to trim it away. We'll just throw some glue down, smack this baby down on this paper, and we'll have them all three assembled. So I think they're pretty. I'm going to bring in some embellishment. I'm going to use my Spellbinders black enamel dots that I got with, that was my gift that I got for being a club member. And I'm going to use those. I pulled in some other ones to look and see if I wanted to add some color, but I think I just want to use the black enamel dots since I've got the black framing and the black matte on the bottom layer. And we'll just add some of these to each one of our cards, and that will pretty much finish it up. So I appreciate everyone watching and all of my subscribers. I'm very appreciative. I was able to exceed the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm continuing to grow, and I greatly appreciate that. I've reached my 3,000 hours to be able to add a membership level to my channel, so I'm thankful for that as well, and I'll be rolling that out in the near term. And I just appreciate everyone. I've had a lot of fun with my channel over the past, I don't know, has it been? I might be coming up on 2 years. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've had a lot of fun with this. It's given me a nice little outlet of creativity, and it's provided me with some growth opportunity to learn about some things that I haven't done before. And I hope that it does bring some inspiration and some value to you. So I've got all three embellished, and I think they're done. So I appreciate you watching, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.